Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Chris, the podcast on which I share my life with you, as well as address any questions or concerns that you might leave down in the comments. So if you've got anything you'd like me to talk about, make sure to let me know. If it's a little more private and you don't want to, show it off to the world that you were the one who asked for that, you're free to send me a private message as well. I'm always open to talking to you guys. I'm very interested in making this into a community thing. That's why it started originally. Though for now, it is just a sharing channel. It's a place where I rant about my day, my life in general, And today is honestly a bit of a quiet day in my mind, I think. It's not like there's a lot happening. I'll be doing a user test for one of my classmates later. I need to do something on her website. But other than that, today is just going to be mostly relaxed. I'm going to continue working on the store. I need to shave. It's about that time because it's gotten a little too long. And then I want to make a few more improvements to my own portfolio. And honestly, that's probably what I'll be doing today. I woke up kind of tired. I'm feeling pretty fresh, but not rested. And I only got 7 hours of sleep. It's a long story. I had to stay up last night. Well, actually, that's what we're here for, right? The storytelling and such. And it's not that long a story. I needed to stay up last night because, how I've talked about before that my girlfriend has trouble controlling her emotions. Well, I had to help her calm down a bit. And, it's not really that I'm forced to help her. I choose to help her. I woke up to this really long message today about how she's so thankful to have me, and it's not fair that she's forcing me to do these things. And I kind of had to explain to her that she's not forcing me to do anything. I'm choosing to do these things. I'm choosing to do these things because I care about her. And I think that's an important distinction because I could choose to leave. I could choose to not do these things. And, that is my choice. I feel compelled to helping though. And sometimes that does come at a bit of a cost. And of course I do hope that she gets better at it. I mean, who wouldn't? Especially because she's in a lot of pain too. And that worries me a lot as well. But that's just life really. She's hypersensitive, just like I'm hypersensitive. I feel like maybe I should talk a little bit about my experience with hypersensitivity rather than my experience with her hypersensitivity. And so, growing up, and even now, but especially growing up, I was very, very sensitive. Like, I have traumatic memories of things that weren't actually traumatic, but that just got stored there anyway. And I look back at them and I feel horrible. Even to this day, 20 years later for some of them, I still feel horrible thinking about it. And it really is traumatic, to be honest. But they were just normal situations. They were just situations in which I was told something or explained something in a not so kind way or something. And they just stuck with me. They really stuck with me. And that's because I was so sensitive to all of this. Like, my family knew that I was sensitive to criticism, but they never took the time or put in the effort to make sure that the criticism that they did give me was, good criticism. Because people want and need things in different ways to each other, even as adults. We don't need the same things. If I have two friends and they both need to be told the same thing, I don't know what that would be. Let's say that they decided on trying a new hairstyle. I don't know. Let's not go into examples. Let's just pretend that I have two individual friends that need to be told the same thing. One of them I might be super direct with. I might tell them, mate, that's not good. Don't do that, And they totally, accept that. They'd respond with, "You sure?" I mean, I felt kind of good about it this morning, but I was doubtful. And you can have a conversation like that. Whereas with someone else, you might be a little more careful in saying the same thing to them. You might be a little more questioning about it. So, are you trying something new today? Or kind of feel like I haven't seen you like that before? And they'll tell you about it, and then you can be like, yeah, I'm not, I mean, I kind of like it, but I'm not really sure how I feel about it. Maybe it's a bit too much or something. I don't know. You might be more like that. And people just need to be told things in different ways, basically, is what I'm getting at. And as a child, no one took that seriously in me. No one really cared to rephrase things. No one really cared about how it hit me. And so I grew up facing a lot of unnecessary criticism because it could have been phrased in a better way. It could have been done more gently, more kindly. And even now, as an adult, I do prefer it when people take into account that I'm more sensitive than average, because I am. Like, things that aren't rejections, they hit me really hard. So yesterday, my girlfriend and I, we watched 21 Jump Street. And by the end of it, she was like, is there a sequel to this? And I told her, yeah, do you want to watch it? Now, I was not planning for us to watch it then and there. It was more like, do you want to watch it at some point in time? But I guess I didn't make that clear. And so she ended up saying, yes, but I don't want to watch it now. That's not rejection. That's actually her agreeing to my initial point without even knowing it. And yet it felt like rejection, and it actually made me feel a little bad. It was like, ouch, was that necessary? Couldn't you just have said, yeah, let's watch it sometime? And, maybe that's the phrasing thing, that there's a positive way and a negative way of phrasing it. Yes, let's do it someday. Yes, but not now. Like, positive versus negative. And it hit me. It did, but it's just one of those things. I know that I'm overly sensitive. I know that it's kind of ridiculous for me to overreact to these things, so I just don't overreact. I just remain calm. I remind myself that that's not her intention and that there's nothing wrong with it. But I might also share with her, because she said something else that, and I don't remember what that was actually, but she said something else that led me to say, oh, I see. It would have been really nice if you had included that when you said no. And that's just me trying to get my needs met, basically. By explaining that, okay, in a similar situation in the future, I'd feel less bad if you had made sure that I knew this information. And, I feel like that's fair, while also it's a bit extra. Like, it's not for everybody, and it's not something I'd share with everybody. Most people I'd just not. Because people have a lot to deal with on their own. They don't need my troubles to deal with too. But the people that I care about a lot, the people that I trust, the people that are really close to me, I'm a bit more interested in them understanding me than I am anyone else. I'm a bit more interested in them learning what they can do to help me with this oversensitivity. And so, as things goes, she thought that it meant that she had done something really wrong. And all of a sudden I had to explain to her that that's not the case. Which didn't go well, to be honest. And an hour later, she was finally asleep. I had to put her to bed, basically. Look, I've come to realize that my girlfriend is a lot like a child in some regards. She has very low emotional control, very sucky social awareness. She's not, dumb like a child. Not that children are dumb, it's more so she has the knowledge and general understanding of an adult. She won't just stare at me blankly if I start talking to her about quantum physics. She'll actually come up with input. She's really, really smart. Honestly, one of the smarter people I've met throughout my life. That's rich, because I generally tend to view people as being kind of dumb. But she's one of the smarter people I've met. It's just that she has the emotional control of a child. She really does. And it's not meant as an insult in any way. Though it sounds that way, and I bet that a lot of people would take it that way too. It's just me being a little too blunt about it. But I'm not fully grown yet either. And I think that's important to keep in mind, that though I'm a handful of years older than her, I am in no way where I want to be. I don't consider myself fully adult yet. I get told by people that I can be super mature and all of that. They're often impressed by me, but I'm not where I want to be yet. I've still got a long way to go. And I think it's okay to have a long way to go still, for everybody. No matter what they're trying to improve upon, I think it's important that we acknowledge the journey of the improvement. I didn't just appear here. I started out with very poor emotional. Like, when I was 16, I'd get in fights. When I was, 20 or something, I'd get myself thrown out of school. Hell, even just a few years ago, I would let anger overcome me. So, yeah, slow and steady wins the race. And as long as you keep working, keep improving, there's nothing stopping you from achieving what you want. That applies to most things, not just your own state of emotional control. That's also what's going to make it so that this dropshipping business thing is going to be a success. Like, my girlfriend and I, we're actually working on this. We've spent a lot of time adding products to the store. I've put a lot of thought into the pricing rules. I am going to write some text for the website today to make it, so that there's not this placeholder text, to make it a little more interesting. And yeah, just generally working slowly, steadily towards a goal, including that 10 days from now, I'll be going to my exam. That's also a slow burner goal. Like, I need to do a few fixes today, and a few fixes tomorrow, and a few fixes after that. And then by the end of it all, I'll have a really nice website. One that I feel I can be proud of. And I'll pass my exam. I'm still very worried about that exam, guys. I really am. I mean, it's tough. I've never feared examinations before, like I've said. But this one, I can't afford to fail it. So I'm not going to fail it. I'm going to do really well. I mean, one of the improvements that I'm making is a doc theme. I'm gonna go find some statistics on how many people actually use the doc theme. And then I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna say that I did some research and I found out that this and that happens to be the case. And then I'm gonna argue for it. I'm going to argue that I used serif texts for my headers my headings, because they are slightly more professional. They are generally seen as more professional, but I use sans serif text for my body because it's more pleasant to read on a screen. So, I've got research for my typography. I've got research for my colors too. I've got research, no, not research yet, but I need to research it, because I'm fairly certain that rounded corners give a smoother and softer look. And I just want to back that up with some kind of research or design principle or something. Then I'm going to practice all of my theory, because we've got these design thinking and crap, SOMI, golden circle, there's a lot. But just kind of want to practice it. I'm gonna use it at my exam, because I'm really good at this, and I'll pass that exam. I will. Anyway, I think I'm gonna cut this one off early today. Just keep it slightly shorter than usual. It was originally intended to only be a 10-minute podcast, but I kept talking in the beginning, and now I'm kind of stuck with the 16 or so minutes. So today I'm gonna keep it short. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for listening in. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.